Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Please switch on your video. Salvina, Mahek, Grishma. How are you all? Slept well? Was it raining yesterday? Very much, no? Okay. So we are almost towards the end of the chapter. We have disruptive impulse control and conduct disorders plus the substance related and addictive disorders left. Shall we continue? Okay. Take page number 84. Disruptive impulse control and conduct disorders. The disorders included under the category are ODD, that is oppositional defiant disorder, underline ODD, oppositional defiant disorder, then conduct disorder and others. Children with oppositional defiant disorder display age inappropriate amounts of stubbornness, are irritable, defiant, disobedient, and behave in a hostile manner. So, oppositional defiant disorder. Oppositional means you can imagine they'll be always opposing others. Defiant means showing defiance. Defiance means how can I explain? Like always against, always like a rebel, then not accepting what the other person is trying to do, not adhering to the authority figures like parents, teachers, or the other elderly people. So these are the main what do you call features of this disorder, and most of them show irritability, lots of aggression in various forms. It might be verbal, it might be physical, it might be towards some objects like throwing away things and causing harm to other people, causing harm to self, can be anything. Okay, we'll see that symptoms in the coming portion. uh, Individuals with ODD do not see themselves as angry, oppositional, or defiant, and often justify their behavior as reaction to circumstances or demands. So, if I am a person with ODD, I will not accept that my behavior is like this. I'll not accept that I am behaving in an aggressive manner. I am being defiant to my authority figures. I am arguing all the time. I am opposing each and everything that my elders say to me. I will not accept that. Okay, I think that, or I feel, or I argue to others that I am behaving like this because the situation is like this. I'm just reacting to the situation. I'm just reacting to the circumstances that I am right now in. So I am not the person to blame. Understood? That is what I believe. If I am having this disorder, I will not accept that I am having such a problem. I am having a disorder. I am, or my behavior is in a disordered fashion. Then, thus, the symptoms of the disorder become entangled with the problematic interactions with others. The terms conduct disorder and antisocial behavior. Have you heard antisocial behavior? I think we have already learned about it. What are the features of antisocial behavior? Antisocial
Causing
example. Huh.
causing harm to oneself and others or to the society.
Hmm. Then what else? Give me examples of antisocial behavior.
Usage of drugs and other items.
Hmm. Then Others, think and tell. Antisocial. We have already dealt with that topic too many times. What would be other antisocial behaviors? Antisocial means which can be disturbing to the people in the society or the beings in the society or the living beings or the living beings in the surroundings, in your own surroundings. So, what would be some examples, some other examples?
Shouting,
Shouting,
scream,
screaming, all those things, calling out names, always using bad words in the conversation, screaming them aloud. Then,
using cars, bike, very speed, illegal,
illegal activities. Then,
abusive,
abusive, abusive in many forms. It can be the substance abuse, abusing another person, manipulating others. Then, what else? When we learned the human development chapter, in the adolescent section, I think we learned about this. Adolescent or adulthood? Adolescence, I think. Causing harm to one's properties, like breaking the glass of the car or breaking the windows of the house, then putting the vehicles to fire, hmm, then throwing things at animals, hurting them simply without any particular reason, then ragging and bullying other people. All these comes under antisocial behavior. So, and if the children, the age group, individuals belonging to the had a power failure. Okay. Now we were talking about conduct disorder or antisocial behavior. And when these antisocial behaviors comes at the childhood stage, then we call it conduct disorder. If that's very much out of control and it is age inappropriate behavior, then we call it conduct disorder. And children with conduct disorder in the childhood stage, if they move on to the adulthood stage with this particular disorder, it leads to antisocial disorder, antisocial personality disorder also. Okay, so the miniature form of antisocial personality disorder or antisocial disorder, that is conduct disorder. Okay, understood? Yes. Then the conduct disorder and antisocial behavior refer to age inappropriate actions and attitudes that violate family expectations, societal norms, and the personal or property rights of others. The behaviors typical of conduct disorders include, and underline those, aggressive actions that cause or threaten harm to people or animals, non aggressive conduct that causes property damage, major deceitfulness or theft, and serious rule violations. Okay, so these children's behaviors, it occurs in an age inappropriate manner, which means suppose if they are 9 or 10 years of age and they are engaging in a cyber crime, and they are earning some lakhs and lakhs day by day illegally. Is that expected from a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old child? No, right? But nowadays we don't know because even the children studying in kindergarten, even they are more advanced than us. So we can expect. Anyways, the when we consider a normal fashion, that's not expected from a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old, isn't it? Yes. So age inappropriate behaviors which are not expected by the family members or not expected as per the societal norms, as per the rules and regulations or the norms existing in the society. Such behaviors are considered under this category. Okay. And which are the types of behaviors include aggressive acts. Aggressive acts can be included, and threatening or harming other people or animals. Threatening or harming other peoples or animals, or causing any form of harm to the certain factors in the environment. It might be cutting down trees in a in an area, in a locality. That is also harming, isn't it? That tree is also a living being. Hmm. And we all know what problems it can cause when lots of trees are cut together, the climatic changes and all those problems. We have already discussed that in the previous classes. Right from childhood, we are learning deforestation, that this global warming, climate change, all those things. Yes. Then, non-aggressive conduct that causes property damage. Property damage like damage to the vehicles, damage to the house, or damage to any other assets that other people own. It can also be one problem. Then, major deceitfulness or theft, which means they steal something or they cheat someone. They cheat and do the illegal things, or they hide major information from people and cause problems for them. All these can consider under deceitfulness and theft. Then serious rule violations. Rule violations means, the illegal activities that they can engage in. The I'm talking about the, what do you call, rash driving. Then because of that, they can cause accidents also, isn't it? Even if they harm themselves, they can also harm other people, and that can also lead to damage to other people's properties. Okay. Then children show many different types of aggressive behavior, such as, so there are around I think four types of aggressions described here. Underline those: verbal aggression, physical aggression, hostile aggression, and proactive aggression. Four types: verbal, physical, hostile, and proactive. Verbal aggression, you would know: name calling, swearing, calling bad words, using bad words in the conversation. All those comes under verbal aggression. Then physical aggression: hitting, fighting, kicking someone. All those things comes under physical aggression. Then hostile aggression means directed at inflicting injury to others, which means it can cause damage to or injury to other people, and it may even lead to the death of the other person. That is hostile aggression. Okay. Then proactive aggression, that is dominating and bullying others without provocation. Suppose if I am a person with this conduct disorder, and some of you walk is I see some of you walking on the corridor, and you're not even minding me. I am not even bothered about you, but suddenly I come and then I bully you. in front of others. Okay. And similarly, ragging, all these comes under proactive aggression, which means even though the other person is not provoking us, we engage in such bullying behaviors. That is proactive aggression. 4 types of aggression again: verbal, physical, hostile, and proactive aggression. 4 types. And that's it. ODD and conduct disorder is the main thing. And ODD, don't confuse both the disorders. They have similar features, but in ODD, it's more of opposing the other people, opposing especially the authority figures. Authority figures means someone who has authority on us. Like if we are a child, then parents are the ones who have authority on us, isn't it? They make our major life decisions when we are children. Or at school, our teachers or the school management. So always opposing them, arguing with them, then defying their orders or commands or suggestions or decisions. All these can lead to ODD. But conduct disorder, it's more of causing harm. uh, Understand those main features and learn, otherwise you'll confuse. Okay. When you hear about the term conduct disorder itself, think of antisocial personality, then you'll be able to write more. Like illegal activities, then aggression, the 4 types we discussed, then the what do you call, causing harm to other people's properties, other people's lives, then causing harm to animals, then causing harm to the properties, causing damage to the properties or assets. All these comes under conduct disorder. Okay. Any doubt? Okay, then we'll quickly finish the chapter. Take substance related and addictive disorders. Okay, what do you think are the main features that we'll discuss in substance related or addictive disorders? What are the features of addiction or anything that you know about addiction? We'll discuss and then we'll read. And most of the substances, alcohol, heroin, then I think cocaine. Yeah, three substances are mentioned here, and most of them have so many features in common. I mean, the disorder has so many features in common. Tell me, what is your opinion on addiction?
Doing something excessive.
Doing something excessive. Okay.
Once addicted, it's hard to get out from it.
Mm. Then, any terms that you know related to addiction? In this chapter, we'll be dealing with substance related and addictive disorders. But do you know about behavioral addictions? Behavioral addictions. Have you heard of that? Ashish is smiling. You have heard of it?
I think so.
What is it?
I forgot.
You forgot, but any idea or any example of what that is? Behavioral addiction. There are so many things coming under behavioral addiction. Hmm, can't remember. Okay, no problem. Anybody else? Behavioral addiction? Or can you make any guess from the word? Hmm?
addiction towards a sort of behavior.
That is the thing, but can you think of any example?
Addiction to any actors or actresses, movies.
Mm, hmm. No, I'm talking about behavioral addiction. Like a form of behavior has become an addiction for you. So you engage in that behavior all the time. And that causes a problem in your areas of life, like workplace, your this thing, family life,
Ma'am, can it be
financial.
like angry, being angry all the time?
Being angry all the time. No, that cannot be a this one, right? Addiction that we'll consider in some other mood disorders or conduct disorders or things like that.
Manipulating, stealing.
Mm, hmm. I'm looking for a specific example.
Like
Lying.
when
Lying.
Lying.
No, lying. Constant lying becomes part of some other disorders, like for example, conduct disorders. Deceitfulness, we already discussed, no? Deceitfulness or theft. It is a part of this one. Conduct disorder, antisocial personality, and all.
ma'am, like when you think a person is when a person is acting cool, you think that is cool, and even you start to behave like that person. Is it like that?
Mm. I'll give you one clue. Hmm? The example which
Being a
I'm
work,
looking. Huh?
being a workaholic or Instagram.
Workaholic. But being a workaholic will not create much problems for you, isn't it? At least in the workplace, you're doing good. And you'll get promotions, you'll get salary, and indirectly, that is helping your family also, isn't it? Yes. Uh, huh?
Phone.
Phone. Phone can, digital addiction can be one thing.
Gaming.
Gaming, yeah, all that can be considered.
Smoking.
Smoking. Smoking is substance related. Tobacco, it's tobacco, right? So that's substance related. The example that I'm looking for, the consequences of this is that we lose a lot of money. Financially, we will face a crisis. We engage in this behavior for
Shopping and
Gambling.
all.
gambling. I was looking for gambling. Gambling disorder. Gambling is considered as a behavioral addiction. Very recently, it is more researched upon. Okay, there was one of our professors. He was doing. I mean, I think he's still doing research on this gambling. He was in UK, and most of the people, not most, a very large population of people are engaged in this gambling process, and they are too much addicted to it. So it's not like an illegal activity. It's considered as a disorder now, a behavioral addiction. Okay, yes, we'll move on to the uh, portion. Substance related and addictive disorders. So what do you think are the other features of addictive disorders? Substance related disorders. So many movies are there and you might have heard so many words related to it. Have you heard the people with addiction when, I mean, they telling us, if I drink half glass or one fourth glass of alcohol, at first I used to get fit. That is the term that they use, no, fit. And now I need 2 glasses of alcohol to get fit. Have you heard that? And do you know why that happens? People who drink one or two bottles of, I mean, they consume one or two bottles of alcohol now would have started with small amounts, right? They would have started with maybe 1/4 a glass, a quarter, then half, then we have so many amounts, then a full, and it goes on. And do you think on the first day, on day one itself, they would have started with 2 bottles of alcohol? Hmm? No. So they would have started with small, small amounts. And why do you think they need 2 bottles now? Person who needed only a quarter requires 2 bottles of alcohol to get fit. Actually, just to get unfit, but still, that's their term, so we'll use it for now. Why do you think it is? Why do you think it happens?
Repetition of the activity.
Repetition of activity. For example, when we were small, we used to eat very less, isn't it? And now we use a larger quantity. Yes or no? Yes. Or do you eat lesser than the baby? Yes. Or no?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. That's when you don't have your favorite food, isn't it? Or are you dieting? Okay. That is because, have you heard of this term tolerance? Tolerance. Grishma has heard. What is it?
How much we can handle.
How much we can handle, how much we can tolerate, the amount of substance we can tolerate. So at first we could tolerate only that small amount of alcohol, and now this person can tolerate 2 bottles of alcohol, no problem. No problem for that person, but it will cause problems for the people around. Okay. So that is the tolerance. Tolerance means when your body becomes tolerant towards that small amount, you will need more amount of that to get that particular effect. Like when you drink alcohol, or when you smoke, or when you use some other substance like heroin or the other cocaine, you're having a certain effect, isn't it? And some drugs are hallucinogens. They create hallucinations. Some drugs, and for that experience, these people might be taking this for that pleasure that they get. So if a small amount of this substance creates this amount of what do you call effect or pleasure in the person, then the next time or after subsequent usage, this person will require more amount of the substance to create more amount of effect or pleasure. Understood? Are you getting my point? Yes. Okay. So this happens with most of the drugs or the substances that people get addicted to. That is the tolerance. And what happens when people try to stop using the addictive substance? Once the person has got addicted to, and finally this person wants to get de-addicted. This person wants to stop using these substances. What will happen? One fine day, this person stops using substance. What will happen? That also is shown in most of the movies related to these addictive.
It will be not easy to adjust without the thing they addicted to.
Yeah. They'll find it very difficult to
Move
stop
a day.
using.
Move a day.
Yes. And what do we call that? How do they react to that situation? Have you seen the movie Teevandi? Hmm? Not all of you. Tovino Thomas movie.
Yes.
Okay. And in that, when he's put into that island, he finds it very difficult. No? And how does he react to that situation? What are his behaviors?
He
Tell
got
me. Wait. Tell me from the point of view of a psychologist. Okay, don't tell me that he was running around, blah, 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 blah.
He was frustrated.
Frustrated,
He was having hallucinations.
hallucinations. Is it? I don't remember. Okay. Then
He couldn't concentrate on anything.
he couldn't concentrate on anything.
Showing aggressiveness to other people and destroying everything that he sees.
He showed violent behaviors, isn't it? Yes. Then was he thinking of the times he spent abusing these substances with his friends? Hmm? Those images were coming into his mind, no? So he was recalling the constant images were coming um, into his mind where he used to use this particular substance, addictive substance. Okay. So we call these symptoms as withdrawal symptoms. Have you heard that? Withdrawal symptoms. When you're trying to withdraw yourself from an addictive substance, you'll have a set of symptoms. They are together called as withdrawal symptoms. That is common for any form of addictive disorder. Okay, especially substance related disorders. Okay, now look at the textbook. Addictive behavior, whether it involves excessive intake of high calorie food resulting in extreme obesity or involving the abuse of substances such as alcohol or cocaine, is one of the most severe problems being faced by society today. So, overeating or too much addicted to food, that is also one among the disorders, addictive disorders. Then, disorders relating to maladaptive behaviors resulting from regular and consistent use of the substance involved are included under substance related and addictive disorders. So, maladaptive behaviors resulting from regular and consistent use of substance. Underline that. If a person is drinking maybe a quarter of alcohol and then is behaving normally, is that a disorder? Is that a disorder? Hmm? Is that a disorder? Elvina, is that a disorder?
No,
Why?
because he's not addicted to it and he's acting normal.
There are no maladaptive behaviors after this. And also, the person is not craving for more and more. Have you heard of social drinkers? Social drinking, which means people enjoy the company of alcohol plus friends. Means if there is a social function, they'll drink a small glass. That's it. They'll take wine, maybe a small beer. It's very common in European countries, especially. That's common. That's not a disorder. But if they are having consistent use, that is very much persistent use of a particular substance like alcohol or cocaine or something, and they are causing maladaptive problems and behaviors, then we call that a disorder. Okay, normal usage is not a disorder. I mean, not a substance related addictive disorder. Then, these disorders include problems associated with the use and abuse of alcohol, cocaine, tobacco, and opioids, among others, which alter the way people think, feel, and behave. While there are many disorders listed under this category, very frequently used substances are discussed below. So, there are so many things that are coming under this category, but the most common ones are only the ones discussed here. That's alcohol, heroin, and cocaine. Okay. We'll just read through because this portion is there for the seminar. So just read and complete. Okay. People who abuse alcohol drink large amounts regularly and rely on it to help them face difficult situations. Eventually, the drinking interferes with their social behavior and ability to think and work. Their bodies then build up a tolerance. Underline that. Their bodies build up a tolerance for alcohol and they need to drink even greater amounts to feel its effects. That's what we discussed earlier, tolerance. They also experience withdrawal responses when they stop drinking. Underline that, withdrawal symptoms. That also we discussed. Alcoholism destroys millions of families, social relationships, and careers. Intoxicated drivers responsible for many road accidents. It also has serious effects on the children of persons with this disorder. These children have higher rates of psychological problems, particularly anxiety, depression, phobias, and substance related disorders. Excessive drinking can seriously damage physical health. Some of the ill effects of the alcohol and health and psychological functioning are presented in box 4.2. So there are so many disadvantages for usage of alcohol or addiction towards alcohol. For example, road accidents, then problems in families, problems at workplace, you lose your job, then you can't focus on your studies or career, then it's more likely that the children with the children of these parents with the disorders can also get addicted to various other substances. They might have anxiety disorders, phobias, and so on. Some people get depression also. Okay, these are the main disadvantages of alcohol addiction. Then next one is heroin. Heroin intake significantly interferes with social and occupational functioning. Most abusers further develop a dependence on heroin, revolving their lives around the substance, building up a tolerance for it. So, dependence means overly depending on a particular substance. That is dependence. Okay. And heroin is a very, it is a substance that causes very much dependence in people. Suppose if we use for 1 or 2 times, eh, we are in a state which we crave for the substance again because of its effects that it produces in our body. Okay, then and experiencing a withdrawal reaction when they stop taking it, just like the other substance, withdrawal symptoms are shown here also. The most direct danger of heroin abuse is an overdose. The main problem of heroin abuse is overdose. You tend to overdose it when you use it, which slows down the respiratory centers in the brain and it's very fatal also. It can cause death, almost paralyzing breathing, and in many cases causing death of the person. Next one is cocaine. Regular use of cocaine may lead to a pattern of abuse in which the person may be intoxicated throughout the day and function poorly in social relationships and at work. It may also cause problems in short-term memory and attention. So in the previous one, the main system affected was respiratory system, paralyzing the breathing system and all. But here, the main effects are on the memory system and the attention system. Dependence may develop so that cocaine dominates the person's life. More of the drug is needed to get the desired effect, and stopping it results in feelings of depression. That is, depression is one of the withdrawal symptom of cocaine abuse. Then, depression, fatigue, sleep problems, irritability, and anxiety can also be shown as the symptoms when they stop using cocaine. The people who are addicted to cocaine, when they stop using it, these symptoms can be shown. Cocaine poses serious dangers. It has dangerous effects on psychological functioning and physical well-being. Some of the commonly abused substances are given in box 4.3. That includes our opioids, sedatives, and all. Um, Sedatives mean sleeping pills. Have you heard of sleeping pills? Yes, they are also addictive in nature. Okay. Then the chocolates and coffee, I told you, which is the drug inside that?
Caffeine.
Caffeine. That is also addictive. Caffeine is also addictive. Have you heard people say when they don't get the regular tea, they'll have headache and all sorts of fatigue and all? That's because they have almost got addicted to tea. That is the drug caffeine. Then what else is there? Yeah. So the common features that you have to write, even if you don't remember the other points, the points that you have to note is tolerance, withdrawal symptoms, and the disadvantages of using it, then dependence on the substance. Okay. Now, people get ready for the seminar from the next class onwards. We have almost completed the portion. And yeah, that's it. If you have any doubt, please contact me as always. Bye then. Thank you.